Hi everybody, it's Amanda from Amanda Rose Tarot, and I'm here today to do another episode of Aesop's Fables for you guys. This is going to be episode 14. So today we will have 3 more stories for you guys, and each one will have a moral. So let's just begin, okay? Let me show you the cards. Hopefully you guys can see those. So here first we've got the quartz stone. Second, we've got the rose quartz. There's a little bit of pink in there. You can just barely see little hints of it. And then third, we've got the stone. And my daughter got this out of the driveway. Pretty cool looking though. It's got a big hole in it right here. And I apologize for my sniffles. I'm either fighting allergies or I have a cold. I haven't decided which yet. One or the other. But we're going to have sniffles. I apologize. So let's start here first with the quartz. Okay, the lion and the beast. So the story that I found, it kind of goes with the picture, but we're going to go with this. This is definitely an Aesop's fable that I'm telling you though. So, a certain lion who reigned an absolute tyrant of the forest devised a plan to his subjects with whom he believed were inferior to him. He was pompous in comparison to them. He planned to prey on them for his own sustenance, for creatures needed provisions to exist. Why should he, as the king of the forest, exert himself when he could sit back and rest while other beasts should be contributing to him? He called upon his subjects and proposed a tax. The tiger was the first to speak up, saying, "Only the beasts who commit a crime should have to pay these debts. That would make it just and prevent selfishness and showing bias towards groups." "No, no, no," said the elephant. "That's not going to be just. That gives power to the evil and only creates more hostility and hatred." The elephant said the best idea was to tax on virtues, create a book of whom is contributing, and creating a rich dynasty for us. So basically, the moral of this story is, you know, neither of those things, you know, the lion wasn't being very good there. The tiger, his suggestion was a bad one. The only one here that I really agree with was the elephant. The tax that he imposed, it seemed, you know, fair. And it would actually eliminate selfishness. If we could just, you know, contribute what we were able to, you know, it would force mankind to examine their lives and, you know, instead of being proud like this lion, you know, he thought that he was, you know, had special rights or special privileges over these other animals, just like our government kind of, you know, how we have to pay these taxes to them. They're superior to us. You know, it doesn't matter how much we make. We still have to pay these taxes and the tax cuts on the rich, and, you know, how that's not fair. You know, so the moral of this story is about being good and doing what's good, and, you know, having standards, not thinking that you're better than anyone else, not being, you know, not letting your ego get the best of you, like this lion did. This lion devised this plan so he could prey on his subjects, and they never even questioned him. They just were questioning, well, who should pay it? They weren't questioning, you know, is this lion trying to trick us? They were just more about, you know, is this something you're going to do to me? Because I don't think you should do this to me. I think you should do this to just the bad people. But it's neither party won. here. So maybe you're dealing with that. Maybe, you know, someone is trying to take advantage of you. Maybe they think that they're superior to you. And they don't care about you. Maybe they just want to use you like this lion used his subjects. You know, he thought that they were inferior to him, and he just wanted to sit back and rest while they went out and, you know, got all his food for him. But, you know, nobody really wanted to do it. He should have been the one to, you know, go out and get his own provisions. They shouldn't have to you know, pay this tax. So it has a lot of parallels with our human society. I think that's what Aesop probably meant, was to examine our lives, you know, and see, are we on the right path? Are we on the wrong path? You know, which side are you on? Are you on the elephant side, tiger side? What are your beliefs? So that's kind of a more difficult story. Don't hear about that stuff too much. Taxes, we all have to pay them. What are we going to do? You know, it's a part of life. We're trying to pay off the national debt that will never happen, right? Okay, so number 2, this is the rose quartz. Let's see what story you guys got. The wolf and the goat. Okay, so with this story, a wolf called upon a goat from down below the cliff that she was sitting upon. He begged her to come down, saying the grass was the finest of all the lands. Don't you wish to just try it? No, my friend, said the goat. I know that you're trying to trick me, and it's not the pasture that you're inviting me to, but you're inviting me to yourself, so you can eat me because you're very hungry. So the moral of this story is, you know, people are going to try to manipulate you. People are going to try to deceive you. Everyone has to deal with that in their lives. You just have to decline those people and do it in a nice way. You don't want those people around you that are not honest. And you'll recognize their behavior because usually these people, they're very obvious, and you can tell, you know, when they're trying to deceive you, and they will fail. You know, there's all these people out there now, you see on YouTube, these videos, how to make someone fall in love with you, what's the perfect text to send to someone to get them to fall in love with you. And a lot of people feed into that, and you know, it's really not going to work. Everybody's different, and the best thing to be is to be honest and not try to, you know, control someone or manipulate someone. Maybe you've had to deal with that. Maybe someone has deceived you. Just stay away from them. Try to be around people that are honest, and reject these people, but do it in a nice way, or try to. Some people you can't. You just have to be very direct with them and say, no, I'm not going to deal with that. I have boundaries, and I'm not going to do that. I don't want to do that. I don't have to accept that behavior from you. It's not acceptable. So maybe, you know, you needed to hear this. Maybe you've been dealing with someone that's really been pushing your boundaries. Just know that the person that is living a more pure life, they are going to win. And the other person that's being rude or trying to manipulate you, they are going to lose. Okay? So that's number 2, if you pick the rose quartz. Let's move on to the final one. This is the stone. Okay, the fox and the cat. So one day a cat and a fox were traveling together. As they went along, they picked up provisions on the way, a stray mouse, a fat hen. They began an argument along the way. First innocent, then it began to get personal, as most arguments do. "You think you're so clever, don't you?" said the fox. "Do you think that you're smarter than me? I know a whole sack full of tricks." "Well," replied the cat, "I will admit to one trick, and it's worth more than your sackful of tricks." Just then a hunter's horn blared, and hounds were yelping in the distance. In an instant the cat flew up the tree and hid. But the fox had so many plans for his escape he couldn't decide which one to try first. Before long the hounds were right on his heels. He ran at top speed and dodged in and out of caves, but all in vain. He was caught. The boaster was put to an end in his tracks by being torn to pieces. So the moral of this story is common sense is always worth more than cunning. So it goes a lot with the second reading, which was about, people trying to manipulate you, people trying to control you. This is another form of that, like people being boastful, and this reminds me of in the Bible how, they say that in the end, men shall be lovers of themselves. They will be proud. They will be boastful. And it's seeming like we're moving more into those times. With all these selfies out there, people, I like Snapchat. I have nothing against Snapchat. I like their filters and stuff. That you can make yourself look way better than you are normally with these filters, and it's a way of kind of deceiving people, but it's also being boastful. I do it just for fun. I do like it, but in the end of times, it talks about how people will become evil, and we will descend into a black pit of immortality and violence and paganism, and we don't want to go in that direction. We want to turn away from that life of sin and more towards a holy life that's pure. So, try to not brag about things. If you do something nice, you don't have to tell anybody. You don't have to brag about it. Be modest. Okay, so maybe you moved into this new house and it's huge, it's beautiful. You don't have to brag about it. And a lot of people don't. They just want, people to see, they love it. They want to share it with people. It's okay if you're doing that, you're being pure about that. You're not doing it to make others jealous. That's fine. But just have standards. Think about what you do before you do it, and try to be humble in your life, and not brag. So I digress. I don't have much to say. I'm sorry. I have a head cold, so my head's not working completely right today. So you guys, I hope you like this reading. Check out my other readings. I'll have a link at the end for that. So thanks for coming, and I hope you guys all have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.